HEX is a scam. PulseChain is a scam. It's all a scam, but it's going up 15% in the last 24 hours. What's going on? A lot of attention is going on. 1.16 million tweets for PulseChain. That's more than for cryptocurrency. And that's because of the anticipation of the launch of the main net of PulseChain. PulseChain being a very closely related layer 1 smart contract platform in the HEX ecosystem. So far, we only have the test net, and now the main net is going to launch soon. Now, does it make sense to jump on this? In general, a lot of attention is always good for any crypto project. That's what we're seeing right now. So far, if there is really a PulseChain launch, there isn't actually that much trading volume in HEX just yet, right? So look at this, the last 3 months, this is HEX. And at the bottom here, we see the trading volume. This is not yet particularly elevated. The price is appreciating, but the attention isn't as high as it used to be, which could be for a short-term flip, a potential opportunity. We also talked about this in the premium membership a few hours ago. Very quickly, this can make sense. Long-term though, there are very questionable tokenomics, and I will link a few sources down below. The history of the founder, right, Richard Hart, is questionable. He used to be the spam king. His actual name is Richard James Schuler. He also apparently had some issues in Panama, so he used to be apparently involved in a Panamanian criminal network. I will link a few interesting videos down below. One by Bitcoin University, one by the Blockchain Guy, and one by the HEX Pulse Radio. Definitely worth watching. If you're very bullish on HEX long term, you should at least know the other side of the coin, the other side of the story. And the issue is always when an unlock for staking happens, right? The whole idea around HEX is that you lock up your tokens for a long time and you get all of these additional tokens in the future, and that maybe the ecosystem can grow fast enough so that the additional token inflation does not depress the price. That's the idea. Will this really work out? I have seen cases where it didn't work out, where we then made money. So this was, for example, for the Cake staking program. So PancakeSwap, that's a decentralized exchange on the Binance Smart Chain. PancakeSwap just started their staking program roughly a year ago, a bit more than a year ago. And at the time when it launched, it gave you more than 100% APY. So you doubled your Cake tokens, have you locked them up for 1 year. Now, 1 year afterwards, what happens? All of these locked tokens, they hit the pool, right? They cause the price to depress. This here is not the Cake token price itself, it's the Cake token divided by the Ethereum price. So you want to look at relative valuations all the time because there's a lot of correlation across crypto, right? When Bitcoin goes up, then HEX goes up, then Cake goes up. They all move in similar directions, but in order to really figure out what is the idiosyncratic movement of a token, you have to look at this relative to Bitcoin or relative to ETH. This is PancakeSwap relative to ETH, and this is after the unlock happened, right? The price really crashed. And so what happens then with HEX? The person that withdraws their HEX tokens the fastest, they are the ones that are going to make all the gains. The people that hold the bag still, that locked it up for a longer period to get more HEX tokens, they might not be the people that can sell for elevated prices if the community doesn't grow fast enough. They are the ones that are then the exit liquidity for the people that didn't take as much return, but that also withdraw faster. So all that staking is doing is it's postponing the supply. It dries up the supply today because you're locking it up. The price gets artificially inflated. That's why we got this initial run up in the HEX price. And then all of these HEX tokens, more than what got locked up, right? That's the whole idea of staking, that you get more in the future. All of that additional supply will then come up in the future. So you've got an artificial increase of the price at the beginning and then an artificial depression of the price in the future. Attention means profit, and currently there is attention with all of these PulseChain related news. Short term, this might make sense to quickly flip. Long term, I'm staying away. I'm too risk averse. I don't like when one person has so much influence on a coin, especially with the potentially bad past that we can see from various sources. The easiest way to make money with very inflationary tokens such as HEX is actually shorting them. betting on falling prices. If there is a possibility to borrow the HEX token and pay it back in the future, right? Have a HEX denominated loan, maybe using decentralized finance, then you can make money from this. This is what we have done with Cake. We borrowed the Cake token and then paid it back once it depreciated. Betting on falling prices for inflationary tokens is a winning strategy. If you can't borrow the token, then simply just be very, very careful and only ride those very short-term waves as long as they last and as long as the trading volume is not too high. I made a dedicated video on Cake with very similar tokenomics with this whole staking thing. That video comes over here. Looking forward to seeing that video. It's one of the most successful videos on this channel. Thanks for watching this and see you over there. Bye-bye.